Minasan, McMegane here, and today we are back with another deck profile video. It's kind of a continuation from the previous video with my Kheios Decklist because it's a deck that got supported with DBT08. As it's a continuation, we are gonna be covering Kheios. To be honest, there's not much change. Actually, there's quite a few card change and the playstyle in the Kheios. The playstyle is more or less the same. It's just that now the deck has ability to just able to hit the ideal board a little bit more easily, consistently, and can pull off a few more times at least. So if you guys enjoy this card content, consider like and subscribe. I do Vanguard content semi-regularly as much as I can. So if this is up your alley, do follow, and also I do stream on Twitch as well, covering Vanguard content to other variety of stuff. If that is your jam, do follow my Twitch as well. And without further ado, let's get into the right lines. Well, for the right line, there's not much change. If you are running the PR Kheios cards, you need to run this. Like, the right line is the crux of the deck as much as is the part race of the deck as well. Because you need different name Kheios to activate the one who go in Kheios, which is the order. And overall, there's nothing much change from this right line compared to my previous Kheios right line, which is back in mid BT06 to 7, I believe. So yeah, okay, so just like the previous Kheios deck list that I have made, I'm gonna be covering the same card, the card that I run multiple copy of first, and then I will be covering the unique cards in the deck in general. So let's start off with the duplicate card first. So Persona Right copy, of course. I mean, it's a standard deck. Persona Right is a must. And for this case, it is actually more than just a Persona Right copy, because if you can get the Grade 3 Kheios into Soul early, that means you can activate the order early as well, because of the fact that this is count as another Kheios regardless of the turn, because that order is Grade 1. So yeah. Other duplicate card I do run is of course the Mikanis. So there are a total of 8 of them. You have the original Grade 3 Mikani, which is the firepower of the deck, and the Grade 1 Mikani, which is essentially gear of the deck, because it's helped you to get to this guy more often. And also a Soul Charge one. As much as I'm not a big fan of Soul Charge in Kheios deck, this is an exception I'm willing to give because of how much advantage this card gives to the deck itself. And not only that, you can just shove multiple copy of this guy into Soul, because they can be treated themselves as different name as long as you have a Kheios Vanguard. So overall, very important card to run. And in my honest opinion, if you want to run Kheios now, this might be a good time to do it, because the card price are more or less pretty shit at the moment. Just quickly buy it before someone find out about the Mikani engine, which is a separate topic that I might cover one day. So yeah. Then we are still playing 3 Guedlu for the obvious reason. Guard Restrict Mikani, very scary as much as Scaramouche. And then the new entry to the duplication copy, Ono Trio. So this card works as a defensive mechanism, as a 10k shield, and it also works as a very chunky booster, which is the fact that it is a 15k booster if you have 8 or more different cards in Soul. And it also can be intercept from back row. So this card I decided to run 2 because of how much use it gives, even more so than a bloody amazing Frost. I love the name, but this is much more useful, and it looks pretty nice on FR as well. So running 2 is actually allow you to have 2 Mikani columns with a really big power, and it does work well as a center back row booster as well, because it allows you to hit 38k on a Vanguard string, which is actually quite a lot, and that's not counting the Persona Right. So yeah. And then of course the order. This is very obvious, and I would say that this became more important than the new order that was given out, because of the fact that now you can do something interesting, like use this skill to call the Grade 1 Mikani out, Soul Charge it, then maybe give this a 10k so that you can just do other shenanigans with it, and or you can just call Mikani plus 10k. You can have a little bit more leeway with the way the deck is built, the 13 different Soul, and it essentially this card just make this card a lot better. And it kind of just facilitate other cards in the deck as well in general. So yeah. Now that we have go through the cards with duplicate multiple copy of in my deck, let's go through the card that has single copy of. So start off with Hypnos is a good card in the sense that it works as an early booster if you cannot hit 13 so quickly or even 8 so quickly, which is normally not a norm in the Chaos. But it works as 20k booster as well, which can be really insane, and it also works as 20k attacker, which, you know, in case you don't have enough Mikani, this is your backup beaters. And yeah, pretty solid card in my opinion. I still run Indicate Arrow because, you know, it's a grade 2 that essentially just +1 with different name in Soul, and it does help you to filter as well. So pretty solid card there. One engraver. Some of you might think why I run only one engraver. Then that is because of the fact that if you cannot go full power with Chaos in 2 turns, if you cannot finish opponent in the 2 turns that you hit a grade 3, you are more or less will lose with Chaos. So rushing to win is quite an important key to Chaos and quite a big weakness to the deck right now, at the moment. And that's why I only run counter charger, because this is just in case of, oh, I need to push for one more turn, this help to counter charge, or this help to prepare for additional turn. I need to be prepared for the rushing to win in case I got drag out, I guess. Then of course we have 4 different PGs. In this case I managed to get Arlem from online. This is the non-foil version unfortunately, but yeah, 4 different PG if possible. And if you don't have enough money to get the Elementaria, you can replace it with the trial deck PG. If you can get it, get it. If you cannot get it, it is fine. So yeah, but for this case, it's a little bit more important because you don't really want to have a blank PG in your deck, especially in the current overdressed format nowadays. Moving on to the grade 1 unique copy, we have Ingrained. I found this better than the new order because this allows you to use it multiple times throughout the game, but the order only use it once and it just go back to deck. So it just depends on what you want to you want in the Chaos deck. If you want a little bit of Vanguard power push and you discard a lot of noise during your game, if the way you play, then I think the order is better. But if you're trying to go for like an early Gasi scenario here, I think Ingrained is better, and I'm the latter type, so that's why I choose to go with this. Then we have Link, the Psychic. The reason why I cannot have additional Link copy in my Liquid deck, because I run it in the Chaos deck, so yeah. And I think I run it in Rajio deck as well, so like I said, I already mentioned it in my previous video. Link, great cards, good filter, soul charge, and very good for this deck as well, because there's a chance that you might have soul charge the same card because of what I'm running in the deck as well. Jericho, obviously, is a +1 unique name into the deck. It is one of the best generic support the Dusted have at the moment as well. And yeah, that's pretty much about the normal units. Moving on to the triggers. To be honest, there's nothing that crazy about my trigger lineup, but I do run 4 draws. This is a deck that you do need to run into your piece quickly, so draw is important here, and because the deck doesn't really draw as much as decks like Luquia, of course you need to run a different name, so unfortunately I cannot run more of the effect draw because it might clash in the long run. I run one front just for the lows, and for many times this front always come off the left field and kind of push the opponent into disarray many times, so I like just running one copy of it in the deck, and also high shield value as well. For heals, in this case I would, just like I mentioned in the previous video, run vanilla better than run effect here, because if you're running effect heal, you need to, in my opinion, you need to run at least more than one copy of the same effect heal to actually be a help to the deck. And Chaos force you to run multiple unit with different name, so this is the best scenario for the deck. Of course you can run the world order heal, which is something that I wanted to, but you know, it's Korean. And then of course the Dusted over triggers, mainly because of the same issue with the Luquia. The Vanguard is not that threatening, so giving it a chance to get additional crit will come in a lot of handy. So yeah. And then for the crit lineup, we have 5 different crits. I decided to run 2 of this because of the ability to just plus itself into soul and +1 to the 13 Highlander as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much the update of my deck. The deck itself had become a lot more consistent, but it is still prone to some of the earlier issue that the Kheios do have. It's just that the problem is a lot lesser now. The deck can get into their full board a lot more consistently now. I would say roughly 60 to 40 chance of success, 60 being successfully getting that full board. So yeah, that's pretty much about the deck. In terms of other cards you can run in this deck, of course you can run all the soul charge based cards like Brainwash, Gunugram, because of just soul charge one. And then you can also run cards like Sherry as well, but I try to minimize the amount of counterblast here, so that's why you don't see those cards in. But they are a viable option nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you guys have different card idea you want to put into the deck, do leave it down in the comments below, and do give me a like if this deck helps you to reach maximum copium level of the Kheios. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Take care of yourself, and this is McMegane signing out.